Are officially live. We're going to give it a couple seconds before we get started. Make sure I hopefully have everything working correctly. We all remember that one time I did not. And yes, everything looks good there and here and here. And I think we have a go. I think we have liftoff. All right, people are coming in. We're going to get started here in a couple minutes. There's Kenzie right on cue. I didn't hear. Oh, so let's check to make sure your earbuds are working. Kenzie is already in the green room.
I'm trying to log in. You can never tell which side is which.
Uh-oh. Why don't I hear? I'm not sure what's going on. All right. Oh yeah, it's check. Oh yeah, we're working. We're working with something anyways. Alrighty. 12:01. Do you hear me? Is it working? Let me get that out of the way before I mess that up. What's going on, guys? We're gonna get started here any second.
All right.
People are coming in. That is awesome. And hopefully, let's see, are the comments. Ah, yeah. Go. Mr. Patient. All right, well, the comments are working. I don't hear myself. I'm going to blow. Am I blowing out your eardrums? It is. Is it that loud?
Well, I hear you. You're sitting next to me.
Well, I know, but... so we won't need the headphones on too long.
Okay.
Because we don't have a guest
it's
today.
Fine. It's fine.
Okay, you sure? I don't want you to get mad. There's Ingrid coming into the green room. And I think we're good to go. Are you ready? Yeah. Can we start? How you looking
I'm just
over
trying to log in so I can read comments.
How are you looking over there? Oh, into the YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, how's this look, right? Is that a little bit better? I made some major modifications. Let's see. Let's get in position here. Mm-hmm. You're all kind of loud. All right, we're all kind of loud. I can fix that. Actually, probably right here. Check 1 2. Ingrid. Welcome back, Ingrid. Good morning. It's actually good afternoon, Ingrid. If we're loud, let us know. I can turn me down just a little bit.
Let's see.
Am I just loud, or are we both loud?
Oh, I can't hear her. Is she talking?
No, she's not talking yet.
Oh, okay.
That's one thing I haven't figured. See, that drives me nuts. I can't hear myself. I hate hearing like I'm plugged. My ears are plugged. I know. All right, guys. Happy Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. My name is Matt. Welcome to Video Chicken.
My name is Kristen.
Sitting to my left is our chicken expert, Kristen Warren. Kristen, how you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. How are you feeling?
Much better.
Good. So you're recovering as expected. Nothing crazy going on?
No, I had breast reconstruction and hernia repair. I had breast cancer 2017. So everything's good, cancer free. I guess you would say I'm in remission. And the implant had turned or flipped over. I don't know. It was upside down. So I've got good insurance for another couple months. So I thought, well, let's get that baby flipped right side up. You know. Gotcha.
All right, so we just dove right into it. You know, we didn't.
Oh, sorry. Was that too personal?
No, that's fine with me. I'm sure our
one's asked, but maybe you're curious. Maybe you're not.
Yeah, none of our listeners have asked, and we didn't really get into it. And you know, I'm sure people are wondering, but I definitely appreciate opening up about that because I'm sure a lot of our listeners out there can relate. I feel like we're a little off center. We're center on the table.
Where should I go? Am I?
Scoot this way, or maybe I just need to. Scoot.
Are we social distancing?
So here's what's going on, guys. Again, happy Friday. No, we are not social distancing, apparently. Well, we could pretend, like on the Kelly and Ryan show, they have it set up where they're actually far apart, but it looks like they're together.
Oh.
It actually drives me crazy. All right. Anyways, again, happy Friday. My name is Matt. Welcome to the Video Chicken. Kristen, so thank you for, I didn't know you were going to share that with everyone.
Oh, what the hell.
Yeah, you know, I can tell you here at Carolina Coops, we remember going through it and we were scared to death for you. And
I was scared too.
Yeah, I bet you were. It sucks that you had whatever happened, but I'm glad you got it fixed. Anyways, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. A couple quick disclaimers today. I have a major problem. I have the wrong charger for my laptop. So we're going to see, yeah, we've already gone down 8%. I don't know how long we're going to be able to make it today. I brought the wrong brick. So we're going to get through this as quick as we can. Ingrid has made us some great show notes, so we're going to try to stick with that. So Kenzie, if you're...
I would have a charger, but I'm Windows.
Yeah, and the software we use is only for Mac.
Yeah, so we have this dueling Windows, Android versus Mac, iPhone dynamic.
Yeah,
going
tell me
on.
About it. I saw the greatest
years and years and years.
I saw the greatest meme recently where they're like, texting goes well until there's an Android. Group text is going well until there's an Android involved.
And there's a backstory there too, but.
All right. Well, Mackenzie, let's go ahead and bring you in. I'm going to drop down to, let's see what happens if we do this.
Yeah, let me finish logging in here.
And if I go to, gosh, I feel a little out of, there we go. All right, what's going on, Mackenzie? How do we sound?
Good.
You sound good too. All right, I can't bump the camera.
What?
You want to? Well, come in the shot a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. That's perfect. Mackenzie, happy Friday. How you doing?
Great. It's freezing here. Christy had snow on her truck this morning.
Oh, yeah, it got cold.
Thought it was supposed to be freaking springtime.
Rub it in. Yeah, no, they got 6 inches of snow down in the southern tier.
Yeah. Southern tier of
New York State. Okay. Yes. Anyways, so again, we don't have a lot of charge today. I mean, I'm dropping. My charge is dropping like a fly. So I hate to say it, we really wanted to make up for not being on last week. I apologize. We almost weren't going to be on today, but
we had a meeting last week.
Hopefully next week, I'm hoping we can finally spill.
It was, a meeting that would help your business.
Yes,
greatly.
spill the beans.
Yes.
And we have so much to go into. So Mackenzie, why don't we go ahead and dive right into the top 3 questions for this week, please?
You got it. One thing, this actually just came up this morning, and I scratched off one of the questions that I did have to bring this one up, especially now it's supposed to be getting warmer or whatever. How do I keep carpenter bees from destroying my coop?
This is so not fair.
All over it.
No, I can't do carpenter bees today.
What?
I don't have enough charge.
What?
This is a customer of ours, and he called me because they are getting into the dowel holes for his cantilever windows, and he doesn't necessarily want to kill them. So maybe you can help other people with it.
Okay, I'm going to do this as quick as I can. When it comes to carpenter bees, if you're not familiar with what they are, a lot of people call them bumblebees because they look very similar to bumblebees. They're not a bumblebee. On the abdomen, they have no hair, so that's the quickest way to identify them. And the males are always the one people are deathly scared of because they're very territorial. You'll see this big, you can't miss it, a yellow square right between their eyes. That's how you know they're the male, and they cannot sting you, but they can be very aggressive. And carpenter bees in general can be very destructive. They burrow the hole into the grain and cause damage that way, but that's where they nest. Yes, we have those holes for our dowels on the inside of the screen frame, so that's how we adjust the windows. My advice would be, so the question is how to prevent them. In general, carpenter bees in general, you want to, if you don't want to use any type of insecticide residual, you want to block them. And how you block them is through a very thick layer, typically an oil base, which is hard to come by anymore. Back in my day, we used to say, just, especially with log cabin homes, seal it with an oil base or paint it with an oil-based paint, and that will stop them. Again, oil bases are not readily available like they used to be. Here's what makes this unique. The holes are already there. And what scares me about that is when the carpenter bee goes in, she'll go in a couple inches against the grain, and then she takes a 90-degree turn, and it'll chew about 6 to 8 inches with the grain. Oof. Yeah, so the quickest solution, and this is perfectly fine, is I would get some type of insecticidal dust and just treat the inside of those holes. It will not take a lot. And treat them, and you will stop them from wanting to be in there. If you did not want to use an insecticide residual, I have to think about this. I know I don't have a lot of time today, but This is the first I'm hearing about this, and
it just happened this morning.
Yeah, I tell you, because that bothers me a lot, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I guess you know what we could do. This is kind of a pain in the butt. We could offer, like those plugs you see with some furniture to cover up a screw hole. Maybe there's some plugs, but then when you go to adjust your windows, you got to pull the plug out, put the dowel in there, and maybe swap it out. Then you're gonna lose it.
You should we should tell everybody that you used to be an exterminator.
I think people know that by now.
How many years?
15.
15 years of bug work.
I was that nerdy bug guy. All right, so let's move on to question number 2. I'm down to 58% already.
Oh,
like a countdown.
So aside from the hemp bedding, what do you recommend if I cannot get that?
Deep litter expert?
A lot of people do use wood shavings, like pine shavings, but pine does have a resin in it that inhibits the growth, inhibits the composting action. But it has worked. There's other things on the market. I've never used the Coop Clean, and these other things that I've seen at the store. I think
I've used that.
Yeah, is that similar? Do you think? I mean, it's not
texturally different.
It probably works.
But I didn't have the deep litter in my previous coop, so I had to do regular cleanouts like every week. It didn't smell as bad. I can say that much.
Really?
As like pine shavings.
Yeah,
we did have a customer call. She uses flax.
Really?
Which I had not heard before.
You know what might be interesting? They make these like pine pellets for kitty litter. Wonder if that would work.
So with the acids, typically in pine shavings, it's because it's so acidic. That's what, like you were saying, doesn't allow the microbes to thrive, but it will work. It just doesn't break down as quick. Yeah. And what I'm really worried about is people that use pine, even though it does work. What we love about the industrial hemp is it's really bedding for dummies, if I can say that. It has so much forgiveness. It's just because it's pH neutral. But you can get away with pine shavings. Just don't judge the deep litter system if you are using pine shavings. All you got to remember is what you're concerned about is the smell, not the visual sign of the droppings.
And definitely using enough dry material. Like really dump it in there, load it up.
Yeah, and speaking of hemp, that was one of the things I definitely wanted to talk about today. I think it's really, really important. I got a lot to get off my chest today, I'll be honest with you. There is so much.
Are we ranting today?
I didn't want it to sound like a rant, but I tell you, it's just there are things that are driving.
Oh, she's excited.
Well, okay. So,
I hear it every day, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the deal. Here's the down and dirty.
I'm still trying to get the comments up, so you go right ahead.
Right, and guys, again, if you're just joining us, happy Friday. Welcome to Video Chicken. I have the wrong charger for my computer, and I'm hoping we'll get an hour out of it, but it's not looking good. It is dropping fast. I don't want to scare people when it comes to hemp, but I can tell you I am not a happy person with our hemp supplier right now, at all. What has happened, this has been brought to my attention, is the Aubie chick that I've been pushing to sell and be the only supplier in the United States to supply that to our chicken customers, because I've been told it is what is designed perfectly for chicken. So why wouldn't we sell it? Here's what's happened. The reason why they say it's perfect for chickens is the particles are smaller. Okay, that is true. And because they're smaller, they're more absorbent. What I've realized is it absorbs quicker. I'm not sure if I buy into more absorbent, but it is quicker. Here's the problem. Because the particles are so much smaller, when they go to de-dust this hemp in a smaller particle, they can't use as much suction with their vacuum to get the dust out. So bottom line, this Aubie chick, and I've seen it myself, and I'm like, what in the world's going on here? It's dustier. Now, it is under their standard of 2%. But the problem is, and so many of our customers, and thank you so much, that have bought from us before, the horse bedding. And the stuff is awesome. Mm-hmm. So I've made the decision. We're going back to the horse bedding. We're still going to brand it. It's still going to be made just for us. Here's the big, what is the fancy word everyone uses? Conundrum?
Disclaimer? No.
No, conundrum.
Yeah.
Caveat. Mm-hmm. I'm working on my big fancy words to sound smarter. We got an entire container coming of Obby Chick. And my first reaction was, I send it back. I don't want it. But we're going to have to wait that much longer to get the horse bedding in. And meanwhile, I want you guys to understand the hours we have had on the phone with the factory, the hours we have spent with other hemp suppliers going, listen, I don't want to buy it from Europe anymore. Speaking of buying from Europe, we'll get to that. There's no company yet in the United States or Canada that can supply us. So we have to buy from Europe. All right, and we're going to go back to the Obio, the horse bedding.
Now, you keep saying horse bedding.
Bedding, yes.
But this is what you've always used.
That's a good point,
it's
yes.
It's not really horse bedding. It's the
multi-purpose. Yes, just because I say horse.
Animal bedding.
Yes, it is perfect for your chickens.
It's animal bedding.
Here's the problem. We got an entire container coming of Obby Chick. Mm-hmm. And I want to be very clear, and we're going to make an official video describing.
How many bales is a container?
700. Okay, 660 to be exact, but we're just going to call it 700. Sounds a little bit better. It's a lot of hemp. Because it was already in order, and the container has been sitting at the factory packed full, waiting for its spot on the ship. Because we got some ship kitty corner locked down the Suez Canal, everyone's shipping from overseas is shut down. Anyways.
Wait, are you going to blame this on that?
I'm blaming why we don't have it yet completely on that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know that for a fact?
100%. It's a nightmare shipping. Anyone that's in the world.
No, that your delay is because of that.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Because everyone just can't think about it. It's a standstill.
There was 400 ships backed up into the Mediterranean, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, so again, because we don't have a lot of time today, here's the point. I have an entire container on its way. We should have it at the beginning of May. And we need to sell it. And we're going to put a big disclaimer on it that it is under the standard when it comes to dust, but it is going to be dustier than we should expect before all of our research. And if you don't want to buy that because it's going to be higher in dust, I completely understand. Wait until we get back to our normal stuff or buy it. Don't wait for it. Here's the thing. I can't say this enough. It'll work the same, if not technically better, because it's going to absorb quicker.
Yeah, the dust wouldn't bother me.
Right. See, I'm an asthmatic, so it drives me crazy. And then once you dump it in and the dust settles, you're fine.
We'll just have somebody else dump it.
Right.
Once it's in there, it's not going to be a problem, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's that initial perception, which I understand.
Yeah.
We've gotten a handful of customers complaining, and I thank them. We learn so much from our customers, and I love when they're like, Matt, we love you. We love your company. We love everything you're doing. I just got to let you know I'm not happy. This is not what I was expecting. And that kills me. People that know me, that devastates me. But I appreciate it.
Do you know what the dust level is for the other stuff? That's
way lower. Way lower.
No, I mean the competitor.
Oh. It's actually the Obby Chick is going to be still better. That's a good point. That the French kept saying that. They go, Matt, this is still better than your competitors.
Yeah.
That is a good point. I forgot about that. I try not to focus on the competition, but that is a good point.
Well, since we're ranting, I know that gets really gets you all fired up. So
it's just and then we sat and discussed and said, do we just
poking?
Do we just sell it? Don't tell people because we know it is under the minimum standard, and I can't. I want people to know. It is a great product. It will work just the same. You're going to see more dust compared to if you bought the Obio or horse bedding, but it's all going to go back to the normal product, even better, and we'll be able to brand it. All right, I went way too long.
I did some quick math, and if you have 700 bales of hemp coming and it's 2% dust, you have 14 bales of dust.
I don't like that.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks.
All right.
That's an interesting
Moving
point.
on.
So they should give us a credit for that 14 bales of dust. And here's the thing, too. And everything's costing more. All right. So we're going to get back to that. Everyone out there, we will give an official answer. If there's anything you just took from my little rant there, is that hemp is still a great product. The Obby Chick, it will still do the same job. It's just going to be dustier. It's on its way. It was backed up, but we're going to be switching back to again, I refer to it as horse bedding, but it can be used for all animals. It's a great material. It's larger. It's double the size in particles, so they can de-dust it better, but still does a great job.
This is the first time I've gotten an agenda, and we're on track.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to try that. And I don't know if we even got through one question with Mackenzie, but maybe two.
Oh yes, that's right. No, she did. Yeah.
We're at 49%. All right, let's get on to the next one.
I'm excited to use the hemp with my new flock and see how much.
Someone's a new.
Yeah, I want to hear about this. This is exciting. Are you a new mama?
I am.
Yay!
I got a mix of breeds. My poor silver-crested Polish passed away last night.
Oh.
So I've been a little sad about that. But I have all different breeds. And my 8 other girls are all different. I've got some Wyandottes. I've got a Well Summer. I've got, you name it, Sapphire Gem, Sapphire Splash. There's a ton of them. And I'm so excited. So.
Yay. How many is that total?
8.
See, I miss those days when I first got my chickens, when I could tell people how many I had. Those days are gone.
Yeah. I had to whip out the excuse, hey, sorry I'm late to work. I had to clean my chicken's butt. So, it is what it is. Luckily, it's a company that understands.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you can leave early to shut the chicken coop, too, in the winter.
All right, we have a tight agenda to keep today. All right, so to the next
Sorry.
one.
We had one of our customers, Miss Francine. She just got a coop not too long ago.
Yep.
She asked, what should I do with my run covers after I take them off? What's the best way to store them, to protect them, and keep them in good condition?
Great question, Francine. Thank you so much for your business. And actually, your question was number one that we wanted to get back to. One of the things that are driving me nuts is I'm seeing all the questions, the comments come in, and I really want to make sure we get to answer and talk about all those questions and comments. And that is number one. All right, so how do you suggest storing your run covers or the customer's run covers? If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, we actually call them the storm shields now. And let me just see how it's looking here. If I go to screen share, and let's see if we go over to Carolina Coops and carolinacoops.com, this wonderful website Ingrid works so hard every day on. Let's see, Ingrid, if I go to accessories and polycarbonate run right here, boom. Let's see what so we call these storm shields, and what they are sheets of polycarbonate are crystal clear. And do we have pictures? Do we have pictures on a chicken coop? So you can screw them onto your run. And what that does is it blocks the snow coming in, it blocks the sideways rain coming in, but more importantly, it blocks the wind chill. It allows you to create the most important word when it comes to keeping your chickens comfortable in the winter, and that is consistency. You have the same temperature coming from the hen house to the run, and they're just a great material. But there's a lot of them, and they're large. So to get to the question, how would I recommend storing them? Polycarbonate is very, very tough material. It can scratch. I'm not going to say it won't, so we want to handle it with care. But let's see. Let's go back to the interview here. There we are. I would say up on a shelf somewhere. They're going to be very lightweight. I would say lay them flat. And I would say up on a shelf is the only thing I can think of. I mean, ideally, if you got a spot to slip them in somewhere and they don't do one of these on you, they kind of slip in nice and tight like a book on a bookshelf. If not, just lay them flat. You don't have to do anything else. I would not store them in direct sun, even though they're very UV tolerant, unlike plexiglass. I'm not sure if you have any thoughts on that. But it's a great question.
No.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps, Francine. Thank you so much. 44%. Oh, this is killing me.
It's like a countdown.
Oh, so mad at myself. I almost want to run back, get the other brick, and continue the show. We should have a part. Let's go. Really?
Oh, take the camera on the road? We should do that sometime. A day in Matt's life.
Yes.
I'll just follow you around.
Yeah. All right. So.
And then we'd really see some rants.
Was that one or two questions? I'm losing track. My mind is all over the place right now.
Kenzie, I think that was 3, right?
Was that 3 questions?
Yeah, that was 3. Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, we got more things we got to get to, so we're gonna cut it short. 25 minutes.
Yeah, and next time, Kenzie, I want to see some pictures. Maybe we can do a little show and tell with her coop. With her.
Yes, I would love to do some show and tell. My father got chickens. Mm-hmm. And he is, God, I see where I get it from. He was, he plays at Mr. Tough, Mr. Cool. And then the next thing you know, he takes it to a level more than I do.
I would like to see those pictures.
Well, he sent some pictures. I was going to have him go live, but they got some horrible rain and thunderstorms in Texas. Yeah. He's already got his cameras in there. He was bringing water. He couldn't sleep. He had to wait. They came in 2 days. So luckily they came alive.
Good.
And
who did you order from? He said they came from Iowa.
Probably Murray McMurray. I tell you, they got to start paying us for plugging them so much. Dad, if you want, I see he's watching. If you want to,
I see him right here.
So Murray McMurray, I believe who it was, got there in 2 days. He's like, I'm going to bring him water when he goes to the post office to pick him up. But he couldn't sleep, couldn't wait for them to show up. So yes, we would love to see that. What I really love what my dad's doing is he's using his hen house as the brooder. So there's no transition period.
I think that's one way to do it.
You disagree.
I was just gonna say that I think it's really nice to keep them inside at least the first week, so you can just look, they're sleeping. Oh look, and to just keep an eye on them a little bit more. And they're not noisy or dusty or anything that first week. After that, they start getting kind of stinky and dusty. I mean, you might even go 2 weeks.
That's a good point. I love when sometimes you and I, it's not wrong, it's just personal preference. And that's what I think is so important, that people understand, because we really get hung up on a right and wrong, or Matt said this, Kristen said that. It's just think about your pros and cons and do what's best for you.
I mean, it is really, they're so cute when they're first born.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't help but watch them, and I love it when they're all sleeping at the same time, and it's like a breathing chick blanket.
Cuddle puddles.
Yes, I love that.
Oh,
yeah,
my heart.
See, I mean, that's just where we bond. And
I could do video chicken from my house next week.
We are going to be. It's kind of unofficially becoming a company policy.
What?
Well, Mackenzie, just like every single employee of mine do, and I love that they do this. They ask, Matt, can I buy some lumber from you? And for whatever, and I've never charged one of them. I always tell them, don't tell anyone, but I've never charged anyone. I can't. But regardless, I knew it was to build our own chicken coop, and I said, we'll take care of you. So we're gonna.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's just the right thing to do. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. But we'll figure it out. But part of the deal is Mackenzie's gonna have to get out there and help build it. And it's only going to help her to do her job better. Absolutely. So, and actually, Mackenzie, before I let you go, here's another thing I got to get to. We're down to 40%. It's just another major problem that we're having. And I can't thank my customers enough that have reached out to us and said, Matt, how are you handling the increase in materials? Is this going to affect the price of my coop? And I tell you, I am struggling big time with this, because I am not a fan. One, I don't like price hikes at all, but it is part of the name of the game. Material price goes up. Anything that goes up, you pass that along to customer. My strategy has always been, that's the easy way to go. Let's make sure we're doing everything we can before we go just take the easy path and raise the prices. Let's make sure we're being as efficient as possible. Let's make sure we're building them as quick as possible. But lumber, when wood is more than metal, that is absurd. We just bought, going to be 2 trucks here very soon. All right, 2 trucks of lumber. I don't know how many thousands of feet that is. It is 2 things: quicker, more available, and cheaper. You ready for this? To import it from Europe.
Yep.
Yeah, moment of silence.
Yeah, they don't even have all the land that we have in Europe. I mean, I know that's a pretty obvious. It makes me
so mad. So mad.
We're looking at like 54,000 feet.
Cheaper to buy it from Europe. So I am. I don't want to raise my customers' prices. Wow. But we do have some things coming up, especially hopefully next week. I hope we can spill the beans and explain what we've been up to, what we're going to do, and we're going to offer a major win-win for a lot of the customers, especially the ones that are waiting. So we will have an official video. Break time. Oh, no, back to work. Back to work. Off lunch. All right. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Yep. I'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty. So I would love to. Can we get to some of the comments and questions? Let's open that up.
Yeah,
let's see how
Ingrid's
it's
doing
looking.
a great job replying. So I don't know. Is she on? Maybe she can.
Well, I'm sure she's replying, but listen. We got our viewers right now. Let's see here. How's this look? Do I got to go off? Let's go off to the side. Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Does that view consolidate the comment? Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. It does consolidate both the Facebook and YouTube. Are those the only two places to watch?
No, they're out. They could also be on our website.
Okay, so 3 places to watch?
I would think so. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're right at the top. And actually, see, I want to get to the questions and comments, but there is someone that I want to show off, and I tell you, Fishing Matt Ryan out there has just been such a huge fan. I believe Ingrid nod your head yes. Let me make sure. Yep, Guess is in the green room. I can't hear her. Maybe not yet. I got to figure out how I get it, so I just switched to her. I want to show off his chicken coop. This is just something that I love, and he just sent us a bunch of pictures. And this is actually maybe a live. Oh, this is a video, and very interesting. So he's got his rain barrel. Mm-hmm. That's a food safe, high density rain barrel.
Where does he live?
He lives in Southern California.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. He's he lives in Southern California, and well, there he is. There, God, I hope he really. I'm not going to get in trouble here, but just again, such a great customer. I'll never forget one night. He was mad, rightfully so. And I called him, and he was in such shock that I called him back, and I thought that was really cool. But we just a huge fan. I can't thank him enough.
3 dogs too.
Yeah.
I would love to hear how the dogs get along with the chickens, and if he has any tips, because that's a question I can't. I've only had experience with 1 dog and chickens. No,
yeah.
2.
You can train any dog to make sure that they're okay around you. You really can. I don't. Check this out. What's that called? Food. Let me see if I can get Ingrid. She knows what this is called because.
What, the stain?
No, that's not a stain. Young Padawan. Let me. There we
Matthew.
go. Ingrid.
Matthew, nobody can see what you're looking at.
Oh.
You're driving me nuts.
All right. So sorry about that. It should be. Oh, because I'm
in
not
the
on
green
screen
room.
share.
I'm on the green room going like, no, I'm making all these like noises.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Oh, and Ryan said I wasn't that mad.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He should have been. He was one of the customers that got some nasty lumber. We had a couple trucks come in. The lumber was nasty. We didn't want to have people wait any longer. We did the best we could, especially hiding it. And he was so appreciative of everything we did. Anyways, okay, Ingrid, what's going on?
Nothing. So is that the Shoshugiban that he did? Where he Shoshugiban. So I think that's correct, Matt. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like when you scorch the wood to protect it, which is what I did with my ladder. And it's great. I mean, Matt can probably explain it because you know lumber so well. It's a Japanese technique that they use for usually with cedar on the side of houses, and you burn it, and it protects it, right, Matt, from elements and insects and things like that. And I did it with the ladder when I got the new ladder from you guys, and it looks amazing. So that's what it looks like what Matt did with his.
Yep, Fishing Matt Ryan. I tell you, I love the contrast. I love the look. I love the uniqueness. This just gave me an idea. We should start Shugibanin in-house. So customers, everyone's shaking their head going, no, Matt, shut up. Yes.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah. My insurance guy just was like, cha-ching.
I love it. I'm out there with my blowtorch. I've made benches. My desk that I work at is made that way. It's great.
So it changes it down to a cellular level. And
wait, go back one.
How nice.
Are you screen sharing now?
I am screen sharing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The chicken water. I want to see that.
I believe it's a feeder.
That's a feeder.
Look at his ducks.
We've got ducks.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are great feeders.
Yeah, actually, I've seen those advertised. I would be curious if he likes those.
Let us know. I bet it looks like the chickens do. That means he probably does. And look, they're going to save so much on feed. and it's going to keep it 99.9% safe from elements. We're actually going to be incorporating these hoods, or these ports, if you will, with our hopper. So I wanted to
look how pretty that. Look at that. Let people see. I'll see he did it with the ladder too. Look how pretty that looks. That's just a gorgeous coop.
It is. I'm anxious to get to some of my favorite pictures because we're down to 33%. You're right. God, I hope he doesn't. There it is. Huh?
The lighting.
Nice.
I love that. And I'm not one of these guys.
Road trip to Matt's house.
I'm not one of those people that get into all these fancy colors, but it reminds me of Mexican last night. My father's like, oh, what do you mean, Matt? That reminds me of your old bedroom when you were a kid. I just think that is awesome. So I can't wait. Ingrid, are we going to get these pictures? Can we set up a page for our customers that are sharing, or we probably do this already.
I think I suggested that many years ago, like a family photo album.
I know you did. We can't.
Yeah, well, thanks.
We're getting around to it. It takes us a little while. I would love to have a page sharing the coops the customers put together.
Yeah.
And
well, most of the coops that I have on the page are ones that the customers put together.
But I would
especially the Americans.
Well, what I wanted was really a family photo album where we have a picture of the family or the owner, I mean, whoever it is, it could be one or multiple people, in front of their chicken coop. Just so we could see, just the diversity of the people and the landscapes and the color choice and how really customizable these are.
Exactly. That's what I want people to see. And I really want people to understand that our chicken coop, I've always said this, we're really just a canvas. You get to sketch in, draw your lines in, paint in between the lines with your color. And here is just a textbook example. He bought there you see a 6x12 American coop with a 4x6 hen house. He put it together. He painted it. And the coopscaping is just absolutely incredible.
I like that Dutch door too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We got our anti-sag board going the right way. Nice.
I'm in need of a Dutch door.
I know.
Me too.
I can't wait to show off what you've done here. It is probably one of the
Dutch door will finish it up.
Right. We'll get that done. So anyways, Fish and Matt Ryan, again, thank you for all your support. Thank you for your business.
Thank you for joining every week.
Yes. Allowing us to show off these pictures. I'm sure our viewers are like, man, that is awesome. Or they're going to be like, what's going on there at night? It's like a big party. But I absolutely love it. Huh?
I have lights all over my coop. I have them strung up all around. I have the little hanging lanterns. You got to make it nice.
You got to have fun with it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's real quick. It is already 12:38. We're at 30%. So we're doing better than I thought. We are going to go to comments.
And we have questions. We have more questions.
Yeah, let's get to the questions. We should do that.
Chicken tractors. Why don't you build and sell them? Wouldn't they be great for keeping chickens safe while free ranging? Actually, would that be free ranging if they're in a tractor? I don't know.
My opinion, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
and
so.
And here is where I think a lot
because they're not free.
Right. I think a lot of people get very, very confused about.
And you have made a chicken tractor.
We have definitely made. Oh God, we've made.
That's how we met, actually, almost. Well, not. That was the first time you came over to my house to see my chickens because you wanted to see the tractor that I had.
Probably the most difficult.
And I'll never forget you brought like a 12-pack of Bud Light.
Is that wrong? Did I? I did not.
I think you did.
Anyways, yeah, the doctor's like, so how many drinks do you have a week? How many am I supposed to have? Anyways, so chicken tractoring. If you're not sure what chicken tractoring is, that means you have a chicken coop, some type of structure that your hens or chickens, whatever, are going to stay in 100% of the time. And you're going to move your coop around, giving them new pasture, new areas of grazing and scratching, right?
Right, fresh dirt.
Meanwhile, they're 100% protected. Here's what I've learned over the years. It is extremely difficult to build the perfect chicken tractor. My standards are very high, okay? And I can't get into the difficulties why. My goal is to definitely solve it one day. But like Kristen just said, that's not free ranging.
No.
I'm sorry.
And as much as you like to believe that you're going to get out there and move it every day, you're not going to move it every day. You probably won't even move it every week. I mean,
we have replaced so many tractors. We have a great video. I think the last time I actually went out to, I think I was in California, and I was asking my customer. She bought a tractor. She bought a nice one, and I asked her how often do you move it. She goes, Matt, I don't think I ever moved it once.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to.
Yeah, I have chicks on the yard, like teenagers that I put out every day in a little wire cage just so they can get some fresh dirt. I mean, same concept, but for teenage chicks. They destroy the yard in one day, just a few teenagers.
Yeah.
So you really do have to move it every day if you're going to do that, and people just don't do it. And like you said, the predator proofing, in order to make it really solid, it's going to be heavy, and everyone's ground is uneven typically. I mean, even my flat backyard, it's not exactly flat, so you can't. It's not predator proof from the bottom. And if you do make it predator proof on the bottom, then you're trying to move a heavy tractor with wire coming out the sides, which gets caught up in stuff, and it's really.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a great concept. And perhaps you can make it work, but for the general public, for most users, I don't think it's a good idea.
It doesn't make sense.
And that's what we found.
Exactly, and that's why we...
Now, I do have a basic coop from you, which I've used as a quail coop, that is light enough to move, and I do move it occasionally, but I need a second person to move it. So what do you say after the show we go move it? Oh, wait a minute, I had hernia surgery. I can't.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So that's why we don't do it.
And I have some feed to put out. Would you mind doing that for me?
Since we're hijacking your Wi-Fi, I guess that's the least I can do. So, yes, my goal is to build the world's best chicken tractor, but it's going to be designed specifically for raising meat birds. Raising hens for eggs, tractoring, it just doesn't make sense to me. Let the girls do the moving. Keep your coop in place. Trust me, you're going to be so much happier. I guarantee you 99% of the people listening right now are like, yes, Matt's right. We thought we were going to move them. We just never did. There's so many little things you're not going to think about. And I think Christine's mentioned some of the key ones, especially unless you're on a soccer field.
Yeah.
You go to put that coop down, and size matters when it comes to chicken coops. So, all right, what else we got with some of the other questions?
All right, guinea fowl. Can you raise them with chickens? I've had guineas, and they're fine with chickens. I know other people with guineas. They're good with chickens.
They say pros and cons of guinea fowl.
Well, I've tried that here, haven't I?
And we have as well.
Yeah? What do you think? And why don't we have them now?
Okay, what's the number one pro for why you'd want a guinea hen?
They eat ticks.
They are notorious for eating... Let's see if we can bring up a picture here.
Aren't they good at alerting to predators too?
Yeah, and everything else. Someone
Yeah.
up in your driveway, a leaf blowing.
I got dogs for that. I don't need.
Yeah. I mean, the noise was absolutely maddening. I mean, I've got 3.5 acres, and I don't think they could be far enough away.
All right, so here, guys, what you're looking at, if you've never seen guineas, here they are. And I love them. Maybe it's the 25% of the Italian in me. I don't know. I absolutely think
they're actually called they're African pheasants, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But don't they originate from Italy?
I thought they were African.
No, I've read that
Really?
they're originally from Italy.
I really don't know, and I'm kind of embarrassed.
Yeah, I thought you would know these things. That's why, and it probably sounds awful, but either way, they are extremely noisy. And here's the other thing that I've learned, especially in the world of chicken coops. If you don't buy them as babies, also known as keats, if I remember correctly, and raise them with your existing chickens inside that chicken coop, they require or should have a lot more room than you would imagine. They are more of a wild bird, and they act like it. And I'll never forget one time we went to a customer's house. That's all she did was guineas, and she wanted us to design a tractor coop just to keep her guineas from flying all the way up to the top of her huge house. It was this big giant chalet, and they were up on the ridge. They had to be 30 feet in the air up on the ridge, up on the ridge cap there. And I tell you, if you want something to eat a lot of ticks, these are the ones.
Yeah, they are kind of harder to domesticate. Like to get them to go into the coop at night and stay there. The best guinea I got were the ones that I had a broody hen hatch, because then from birth they were trained to go into the chicken coop. That was the best guinea flock that I had.
Absolutely, I think it's the only way possible, and that's what we did, and it worked.
And they are from Africa.
But they are originally African. I swore I read them somewhere. They were from a town. I appreciate you checking on that. So pros and cons there, yes. All right,
so
what else?
They're the African pheasant.
The African pheasants, awesome. 24%. We're doing good. We are doing good. So I figure we got about maybe 15, 20 more minutes. And again, folks, I definitely want to be able to...
How many roosters per chicken?
0.
Yeah, you could do 0. I have a rooster.
You do? We brought him in one time.
Yeah, for our, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
The test that was the tea with Matt and Kristen.
What is the industry standard answer to that?
20, I think.
Oh, I thought it was 10. If you Google how many hens should I have, I've read 10. The more the better.
Yeah. I mean, I've got...
You can't say.
I can't give away my ratios.
But
I've got one servicing a lot of hens, and is that not the right term?
I think it's great.
Okay,
it's a very politically correct term.
I just hatched some eggs, and 23 out of 24 were fertile.
Can you go grab your incubator? I would love, or should we do that for another show? Incubators, no, just one. I love these
full
new
of eggs.
Well, you can't just. Maybe when are they supposed to hatch? You probably have a mix of everything. Oh, okay. Let us know.
No, 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. So we should do a show where, God, we should time it. Remember how you used to time it so that you knew when you were going to do a show for like Earth Day coming up?
A chicken booth. I did a lot of chicken booths, and that's how we met, really.
Yep, and you would time it to hatch at the booth.
Right. That
always blew me away. So we started to do that with schools. And
I had a school contact me this week.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah. Anyways, how many roosters per chicken? Minimum, I would say 10. You're saying 20. The more, the better. You don't need roosters unless you're going to run a breeding program.
Yeah.
I know they're supposed to be really good for protection, but that could be, they'll give up their life.
I've had a rooster for about a year now, and I think he has protected them. I don't know that I've had any losses.
There we go. Okay. Or should we knock on acre now? I actually brought the samples this time.
How long would you suggest we take to incorporate a new round of chicks into an existing flock? We get this question all the time because everybody likes to add new chickens. How long would you suggest?
Well, that's an interesting question. I've never heard it phrased that way.
Yeah. How long? What do you think, Ingrid?
Well, if they have chicks, you would want them to be big enough, the same size, right? Isn't that what you usually say? To be the same size?
And even so it takes months for them to get to be the same size. And then once they are the same size, how long in your experience is that introductory period where you really got to sweat it out, and you're worried that they're going to get hurt and they got to peck each other?
I did it only for a couple days because of the way I had the setup.
Oh, like they just showed up in the middle of the night?
That was one.
No, that was just the one, and she still gets picked on. But the 4 that I got from you, I did try to keep them separate outside, and then I kept them in the separate part of the run. But I could only do that for a couple of days. And then I ended up putting them all up there at night and waking up really early in the morning with the sun to open the coop so they had enough room. Because the problem is when you introduce new chickens, if they don't have not a lot of room, that's when you're going to have conflict. But if you give them enough room, they all have room to get away from each other. And that's been my experience. And honestly, with the 4 chickens, it was a couple of days, and then there was kind of like 2 flocks. And then within like maybe a week or 2, it was like they were all together all the time.
That's not
I was amazed at how well they integrated in with my existing flock that had been together so long.
Now I'm wondering, do you think part of that was that there were they equal numbers, or they're roughly equal numbers, like the new guys and the old 4?
Yeah, it was 5. Well, it was 6, and then I lost the one, so it was 5 and 4, I guess.
Yeah,
so yeah,
so
it was a good number. But no, I have 10 now, so it must have been yeah.
And then the extra. So
yeah,
and then compare that to throwing in one extra, and which is, by the sound of it, more difficult, right? She's still not adjusting, even though she was part of that initial flock, but it was like 2 months later.
Yeah, it was. She had it rough. And by the way, she's like feral. I swear, I tried to catch her the other day because it's that small bantam, right? Bantam Kochi, I am Samani, right?
Yeah.
Adorable, but I had a little place for them to get out, and because I try to get them to clean up weeds in my yard. So I'll give them other spaces that I want them to clean. And she got out from the temporary fencing, so I had to grab her because I didn't want her to go in the street. And I grabbed her, and she screamed, and she made such a fuss. You would have thought that I was just sending her to slaughter. She was not happy. I was like, all right, here.
Luckily, we have a trade-in program.
Can you put alfalfa pellets in the run? Yes. Not sure why you would want to.
I got a bag of alfalfa pellets just to try it out. I saw them at AgriSupply, and I left the bag at night out, and something tore into it. So a raccoon or whatever really wanted those alfalfa pellets, and then it got all wet.
Anytime someone asks me, "Can you put something inside the run?" I often refer to why, or ask why. Why would you have to put anything into the run? If you're having to put some source of carbon in your run, there's something else going on. You shouldn't have to.
I was just curious if they'd eat them. In the winter when they're craving greens.
That's true.
That's why I...
Oh, we got an acre product question. That's a long one. Go ahead and read number 7 for me, please. Ingrid, great job, too. Look at that. Such a great job.
How should the acre product...
She's got the fancy paper.
Should be finished inside the deep litter area. I know the hemp is super absorbent, but I would imagine some moisture will make it to the product, and it does absorb some moisture, unlike the HDPE. Is that true?
That is not true.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Look what I brought today. So actually, here's the actual product, and we have done everything but boil it in water, and no water got into this product. I couldn't believe it. It is designed to be just like high-density polyethylene. It's amazing. Here's the problem or concern I have with that question, or something we should talk about. When they say, I imagine some moisture will make it to the product, and it does absorb some moisture, unlike HDPE. I guess anything's possible. Remember, in this case, the industrial hemp, or whatever you're using for your carbon, for your bedding, that is the diaper. But every now and again, sometimes we have a blowout. I'm sure us parents remember those days. We're trying to provide you the world's best diaper with the industrial hemp, but the backup to it is the high density polyethylene. And my understanding is it will not, even if it does absorb, which I imagine there has to be some level of absorbency, but even though it's designed not to absorb, but it can absorb a paint or a stain. So I have to believe it can. Even if it did, it's not going to rot this material.
Yeah.
So, but that is a great question. It is something that we'll have to find out when we do incorporate to this material to talk about. But,
well, and
I
we're
suppose
not talking about hosing out the chicken coop either. That's something that I want to reiterate, that people should not be hosing out their chicken coop. You should not pressure wash it. You should not hose it out. You should not, because it's not waterproof. It's not sealed. And then water can get behind
into the cracks and crevices.
Yeah, behind that product and cause all sorts of problems. So you're not looking for something to be waterproof.
True. You shouldn't have to. You can use just regular plywood.
Right.
You did. Your first scoop you showed me when I came out with my 12-pack of Bud Light. I don't believe that. I don't know if Nan's listening. Nan, do you remember that? I'm sure she's listening. I don't remember.
No, she came.
Yeah, she did. Because we had Mikey. I'll never forget it. Anyways, so
maybe she did.
The answer to the question, should I seal with something? You can. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Mm-hmm. What I am not a fan of is maintenance work. This is a set it and forget it material, but if you really wanted to make sure you waterproof it, what you're going to do is put down another barrier, like a lacquer, a shellac. You can do a layer of wax. You can do all kinds of things, but I'm going to this product, and we currently use high-density polyethylene, so you don't have to. And I wouldn't worry about it at all. How are we looking on comments?
Someone asked if you sell the Roost bars in different sizes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
Again,
we do. Yes, we do.
I want to practice. Here we go. I'm screen sharing, right?
Okay. And is this Colleen? Colleen is a dog trainer, and she has a lab. He's a hunting dog and will not touch my birds.
Thank you. So many people, you don't know my dog.
Well, that was my second dog was older chocolate lab when I adopted him. He was like a...
We're going to be teaming up with a dog trainer. I haven't told you.
Good.
You
never tell me anything. It's like, but that's okay. I guess.
God, I hear that every day from people. I don't have enough time in the day to share everything with everyone. But one of the things I loved about this past...
about the show.
Well, it's about... surprising sometimes.
Okay. Right.
So I met a phenomenal dog trainer. One of the things I love about traveling over the winter, especially in Florida, is with the RV lifestyle, met so many great people. And there was a phenomenal dog trainer. And I'm going to team up with him. I'm not sure when. He even has his own YouTube channel. And he showed me a video where he had a dog going crazy after the chickens. Mm-hmm. And I think he said it took about 2 weeks. And he has another video showing that dog just sitting there on guard, guarding the chickens.
I would consider getting another dog if I...
There's nothing better. In my opinion, when it comes to protecting your flock, it is a dog.
It is. And that chocolate lab...
dogs...
Okay, go ahead, Ingrid.
No, I was just going to say dogs are natural predators and chickens are prey. So I think you have to be very careful in just saying maybe any dog can be trained, but not any person and the right trainer can train every dog.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, we see that all the time. So many people, especially when they're trying to train, they do it wrong. Drives me crazy.
I wouldn't trust one of my dogs with my chickens. Her prey drive is way too high.
And some dogs are much easier to train than others with chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true. But I, as a dog lover myself, I still think dogs are way smarter than we ever can realize. When they can tell you're about to have a seizure, they can sniff out cancers. I mean, that is just mind-boggling. Yeah. If you're...
Yeah, my retired hunting... I assume he was formerly a hunting dog because he didn't care about the chickens as long as they were running around. But if I was carrying chickens from one place to another, I held them upside down by the feet, like you do when you hunt, and he would just get very excited.
So I remember speaking with, I want to say, and if you ever want to look him up, again, we're going to team up with him. I think it was called K9 Gunner. Has a YouTube channel, super smart guy. And I asked him about it, and he said the trigger is the fast movement. You're not going to stop chickens from being chickens. So you have to train the dog to be okay with that fast movement. That's the trigger. That just makes sense. And that's what it... So anyways, do we sell our Roost bars? I think that was a question that came up. Yes, right here. You see them up on the screen. So let's Shuggy Bond. What was it called?
Well, and they also ask do you do custom lengths too?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. One of the things we are working on, and
explain why the 8 foot is so expensive to ship, please.
Because it's 8 foot long.
I know, but people don't get that.
I know. I tell you, shipping right now is a nightmare.
How much is it?
I would like to let everyone know UPS Freight was bought out. My favorite shipping company, LTL, just got bought out, and they went from the first to the worst.
LTL's great, yeah. Right.
Yeah, less than a truckload, sorry. So bummed about that. But yeah, it's expensive to ship an 8 foot long
How much is it?
Well, I think they charge us a service charge, Kristen. I think that was the problem. We were getting, it was like an extra $90 just on top of whatever it was because it's so oversized.
And it's hard to justify that. Yeah. So what we're going to do, and I think I just figured it out, we're going to make it so that the Roost bars have to be assembled by the customer. So we'll be able to get it back down to 4 foot. Coming soon, as we get caught up on everything else.
Do you sell the ladders?
Yes, we sell everything. Rule number 1 in sales. Yes. Yes. Are these the Facebook comments?
Yeah. Do you ever let hens hatch the eggs? Lisa Haymaker said that, and of course, and I am happy to announce I have my first broody of the season. She's a black couple.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I'm gonna have more babies outside.
Very nice.
I've and my eldest child moved out, so I have an empty room here that is now filled with birds.
Right before the show, people don't realize this. Right before the show, Krista goes, I got a baby chick's not happy. And you're right. You can hear them. They're just like kids. You can tell when they're fake crying and when they're like, oh, crap, what just happened? And sure enough, the baby chick.
One had gotten out.
One got out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, anyhow. Oh, Anand said, I'm pretty sure we brought beer. You did bring beer because my husband at the time said, whoa, what's up with this?
No.
Some guy just brought a case of Bud Light to come look at your chicken coop.
You probably asked me to.
Why would I ask for Bud Light?
I don't know. I don't just walk around with a case of Bud Light.
Yeah, that's got Matt's written all over it.
Yeah, so it's a believable story, isn't it, Ingrid?
It is. The Bud Light gave it away.
It's a party. Anywhere you go is a party, right?
Do you ship coops to Canada or do you just sell plants? We absolutely ship coops to Canada. Are we able to ship coops yet to Canada because of COVID?
I think so. That's a non-Mackenzie question.
Non and Mackenzie, please chime in there. My old neighbor, Mark Keeler. What's up, buddy? Good times. Hope you're okay.
Somebody had a question, if I can interject.
Please.
So, yeah, where is it now? Oh, shoot. Now I can't find it.
Hold on. Fisher Matt Ryan says it was a little dusty. So he also mentioned, I think you also mentioned yesterday about spraying down the hemp on the inside of the bag before you dump it. Which, believe it or not, when you read the instructions, you're supposed to mist it to activate the absorbency, which blows my mind. That might be something worth experimenting with, but I would love to hear some other people that have the experience with the Aussie chick. We know it's going to be dustier. I'm going to make sure everyone knows that. I apologize. I hate that it's happened.
But you need to reiterate, it's still less dusty than the competitor.
Right, and it won't harm your chickens.
It's really just a concern when you dump it if you're sensitive to...
Yeah, like I am. And if you've already bought the Aubio that is designed for horses, which works perfect for chickens.
Animal bedding. It's not just for horses.
Animal bedding. It's way less dust than the Aubie chick. So that's why we're going to go back to it.
And I don't know if you mentioned before that chickens do take dust baths. So they're used to... You know, I mean, we are worried. We're all worried about the dust and the particles we think associate with dust. But I mean, I've posted videos on our Instagram of them in the dust bath and then shaking, and they're like pig pen with a cloud of dust that comes off them.
That is really amazing.
All right, I'm at 4%, but I want to make sure everyone just heard what Ingrid said, because when we were in our hours of like, what do we do here? We spent more time focusing on the hemp than we seemed like we were our own chicken coops. And it seems like it's more complicated. Anyways, yes, when chickens are taking a dust bath in a material, that is one of the worst things for you to breathe in. We're going down. I can tell we're starting to lag. We're going down. Our shows, I'm going to go ahead and end it. We made it to 1 o'clock. Guys, we will see you hopefully next week. We may have to postpone. Next week is the big day.
Maybe we could do a different time.
We'll figure it out. Oh, we're going down. We're lagging. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't remember how to end the show.
Isn't there a button that says end show?
Yeah, probably. I don't see it. I don't know.
There you go.
There it is. All right, we'll try that again. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, if I don't see you guys next week, that means the big day. I just went up 1%. I just gained 1%.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Well, there's
You
one
stopped
question
screen
here.
sharing.
It says, should I get outdoor cats for rodents? And I say, yes, lots and lots of cats.
I can't wait till we get our shop kitty. We're going to get our Maine Coon. My dad has always told me he's always wanted a Maine Coon. So, of course, since I was a kid, I wanted a Maine Coon. We're going to name him Queso or something like that, or Moses. But anyways, all right, it is 1 o'clock. We'll see you guys next week. If we don't, I apologize in advance, but I can tell you after that very quickly we're going to have some amazing news.
Yep.
Later.
Bye.